Welcome back to another video. It is batch cooking, freezer cooking video. I just added oil and added my ginger garlic chili paste, added onion onto my pot, stir that in. At the back there I am boiling a little bit of sam that I still had in the cupboard, and I'm adding red pepper frozen that I've had in my freezer since we did the preservation, and I'm adding paprika, garlic and onion powder, added basil, dry basil onto the pot, and I'm stirring that in, and I am adding 50 grams of tomato paste onto the pan. So just a disclaimer guys, this video is going to be all over the place, but we will conquer. And I'm adding 1 table setting spoon of flour onto the pot, and I am adding my beef onto the pot. So I'm not cooking a fancy stew, I'm cooking it the old-fashioned way that we grew up cooking in Makaya. I didn't start by frying the meat, and then I'm adding my yellow salt as always. So I am stirring everything into the pot, and I'm going to add water. I added about 800 ml onto the pot. Then I'm going to stir that everything that is in there a little bit so that it can be well combined, and then I'm going to let that simmer. While that is going on the side, I'm seasoning my chicken: paprika, turmeric, garlic, onion powder, black pepper, and then I added a bit of chili, dry chili, and yellow salt, and I'm adding soy sauce onto the bowl, and I'm adding oil onto the bowl, and I'm going to stir that in until it is well coated. While the stew is going on the stove, I was starting on the quarter legs, and in a pan I'm going to fry them on low heat. Your heat needs to be on low. It is very important for it to be on low, otherwise you're just going to burn them, and we don't want to burn them. We want to cook them slowly because this is the only way we're going to cook them. I didn't want to put them in an oven. So you first start with the skin side so that it can be crispy, and you know that the heat can tend to be in the middle, so you'll move around your quarter legs as to which one needs more heat onto it. So while that is going on the side, I started on the drumstick and wings, full wings, and I just added black pepper, garlic, onion powder, and then I'm adding yellow salt. Another thing that I'm doing, I'm finishing off all the sauces that I have in my fridge, because they tend to make me think that I still have sauces, and whenever I want to use them I realize, oh, I don't have them. So I just added sriracha sauce, and then I'm adding hoisin sauce onto the drumstick and wings as well, and then I'm adding my last habanero sauce onto it. I was heartbroken. And I'm adding a little bit of chili sweet sauce. So, and then I added oil onto there. Then I'm going to mix it and combine it well. These are slaughtered chicken, guys. I think last time I showed you guys where I buy them and what I do with them. It's still the same process. I just didn't share it with you this time around. I went the second time again, so, but they were on a smaller side this side. I wasn't happy with them, to be quite honest. So I have a lot going on at this point, so you guys will have to forgive me and just go with the flow. So these are chicken breasts that I just cut up into bite sizes, and I seasoned them a little. I didn't put anything on them. These are my kota legs. Look how beautiful they look. They look absolutely divine. So I didn't put anything on my chicken breast because it's going to be part of a meal. So the seasoning, I will finish it off with that meal, you know. And there's my stew there. I added the butter beans onto the stew as well. While as it was cooking, I didn't show you guys that. And I was loving. I didn't want to add tomatoes, you know, because I didn't want to change the color of it. So these are wings that I cut up, and I'm going to make sticky wings out of them. I had just used up Theo's barbecue sauce that he makes at home. I don't know how to make it. I've never attempted it, so I just asked him to make it, and then I always have some in the fridge. So I'm using it up, I'm finishing it up, hence I added a little bit of water in it, and then I just added a tablespoon of corn flour onto the mixture, just to, you know, to thicken it up a little bit. And I'm going to pour that into a pan, which we are going to grill in an oven at 180 degrees. They are half cooked, so I don't need to cook them more than, not for long, let me put it in that way. So guys, this vlog is very long. It's 1 hour 40 minutes. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about it. I tried to speed it up and I felt like it was running away from me. So on this other side, it's beef as well. It's another type of beef that I'm frying. I added tomato paste, garlic and onion powder, and I added chili flakes, and I added paprika, and I'm adding a bit of flour onto it, and then I added salt. You can season it in any way that you want to season it. It doesn't have to be my way, but this is how I'm seasoning it. And then I'm combining everything together, and I'm adding water. Actually, I didn't fry this. I boiled it for a while up until it was tender before I started seasoning it with everything that I just added. So now I'm adding water again onto it. The reason I'm adding flour is to thicken the sauce. You know, guys, I always hear people say they don't consume they are gluten free and all of that, but unfortunately, if you eat at the restaurant, if your meal is not written gluten free, you are eating flour. That's the truth. That's a sad reality, including those who says they consume rye bread. As long as you are buying it from the store, there's flour in it for it to be able to hold the loaf that you see it like shape like that. So these are my wings from the oven, and I'm going to put it back onto the oven again for a couple of minutes. I just wanted to turn it to stay it in, you know. So as I was saying, if you eat from the restaurant, you are eating, as long as your meal or what you're ordering is not written gluten free. And if they say gluten free, you must ask them, especially on sauces, what they used instead of the flour, because let's be honest, cream is expensive. So if you are not making your own food, possibility is you are consuming gluten. That is the sad reality. So I just chopped an onion, a couple of onions there, and shiitake mushrooms, and then I added butter onto my pot, and I'm adding flour, and I'm adding milk that I'm going to stir that in to make a white sauce. I'm making a lot of white sauce because I have a couple of dishes that need this. Let me, like, something that happened. I was supposed to fry the onions, guys. These are my wings. Look how beautiful they are, and they are so tasty. And I added sesame seeds on top. Don't add your sesame seed when you put them in an oven. It's gonna burn. Add it once it's done. And of course you can do this on a stove top. You know, you don't have to put it in an oven. So I'm making white sauce, a lot of it, because I have a couple of pasta dishes and other casseroles that need the white sauce, but I'm not going to use it today because of electricity. I'm going to let it cool and put it in a fridge. So I was supposed to fry the onion and the mushrooms first, then add the butter, then add the flour and the milk. Guess what? Oh, girl forgot. Now I had to fry the mushroom and the onion on the side, and I feel like it doesn't bring out the flavors that I want or that I wanted, but it's okay. It still turned out great. It still tastes good, but I love developing flavors, so I was bummed up when I didn't do that. And I'm adding dry basil onto the sauce. As you can see, that is a lot of sauce. And I'm adding black pepper. If you have crushed black pepper, use that. And I'm seasoning it with salt. The reason I'm saying crushed, it looks better, man. It looks professional compared to when it's powder black what. And I do have the peppercorns in my cupboard, but after me using my blender to grind the when I was doing the hot cross buns, to grind the allspice berries and the clove and all of that, and what happened to it, how it looks now, I'm not about to take chances. Those peppercorns will stay in my cupboard up until I buy a bottle of peppercorns. When it's finished, I'll do a refill with them because I'm not about to mess with my blender. I don't like how it looks already, but I did it. You know, I'm the one who slightly damaged it, so I can't blame anyone. So I am cleaning. I'm not cleaning, I'm doing dishes, you know, and I cannot tell you what time it is. I think it's in the middle of the night. It's in the middle of the night. I know electricity was gonna go around, this was 12 o'clock. Electricity was it was 12 midnight, just after 12 midnight. Electricity was gonna go at 4 a.m. Yes, so I slept. After I did the wings, the sauce and all of that, I rested when electricity went, and then I realized that it was only coming back for 4 hours and I hadn't eaten. By the time I was done eating, it was 2 hours left. So I was like, let me rather go to bed and then I'll wake up and come in. You know, I was supposed to come back at, what time was I supposed to come back? I think I was supposed to come back at 8 or something, but not 8, I don't know, 10. I was just supposed to come, electricity was coming back at 10, and then I couldn't wake up, so I came back at 12 midnight. So this is the part that I'm so excited about. I'm making 3 types of fried rice. Yep, my version, the one that doesn't have eggs, the one that I feel like I can freeze in the freezer. I can freeze eggs, cooked eggs, but I didn't want to put eggs on them. So I'm making, or let me not call it fried rice. Maybe it's not the proper name for it. Let me call it seasoned, well seasoned rices. So I cut about 4 to 5 onions, I think, and I'm cutting green onions. I cut it. What? Cutted? Hey, your English, it's definitely going to run away on this video. So I just cut the white part of the green onion, and then I am going to cut the green part, which I'm also going to use for my fried rice and the pastas that I will be making. And so this one, if you are new here, we love rice, and we love playing with rice on this channel because it allows us to. And I am chopping Chinese celery. Chinese celery, it's smaller in size, guys. It's not the same size as the ones that we buy at the store. It's smaller in size and it's much more tender, and it tastes absolutely amazing. So I'm chopping that, and as I was chopping this, I realized that I didn't buy enough, but it's okay. I have other things as well. And then I'm going to chop the green chili as well, and I'm just prepping for when I start frying the rice. Then I don't have to chop and cook and all of that. So I'm chopping everything and putting them in bowls, just to be ready. So for when I start cooking, that everything is ready. And considering the fact that we have limited time because of electricity, so I'm chasing after that. And I'm also going to chop a handful of green beans. I never cut the pointy side of the green beans. I don't know about other people. I just cut the back. I cut where the stem is and wash them, either cook them as they are or I chop them. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm cleaning I'm just cutting the other side of the stem. And another thing, another fun fact is that if you're going to make fried rice, cook it a day before. You can cook it during the day if you're going to use it tomorrow. Fried rice tastes better, or it's pliable, or I don't know what is the correct word, when it is a leftover rice, or a rice that was cooked yesterday and left in the fridge, and those, because if it's fresh and straight from the pot or from the stove, it's going to turn into pap. That's the correct word. So I'm also chopping the mushrooms as well for what I'm going to make, and we are going to start. I think everything is ready now for us to start. I will start with chicken breast, that other one that I cooked yesterday. I overcooked them, and I think I felt that they were not right for the fried rice, so I'll use them for a pasta dish that I'm going to make. So these ones are the ones that I'm going to use because I didn't want dry chicken in my fried rice. So I took that out of the wok. I added onion, and I added celery, and I added green chili, and I'm adding the white part of the green onion, and I'm adding diced onion, diced carrot, and I added garlic ginger chili paste, and I added more oil onto my wok. So the oil that I'm using, it's used oil. I'm using it because it has spices already. It's the one that I used the other time when I was deep frying the chicken. So I don't mind it. I mind it if I'm baking, you know, but since I'm cooking with it, it's okay. And I just added my chicken back onto the pan, and then I'm adding the rice that I cooked a day before and put in a fridge. I'm using basmati, and I just added hoisin sauce. I added soy sauce, dark soy sauce. I added paprika. I added chili flakes. I love a bit of heat in my rice, flavored rice. And I'm adding mixed spices onto there, and black pepper onto the pan. And then we are going to add garlic onion powder, and then we add salt. Again, use what you have, and I added rice vinegar. You can use white wine vinegar or red wine vinegar. You can use balsamic vinegar. I'm trying to save those because I realized that I'm running out of a lot of condiments, so I don't want to have to replace everything all at once. So this is how my rice looks like. And then those green onions that I chopped, you add them at the end after your rice and your seasoning. You have put them in your wok. The idea is not to cook them. The idea is for them to give your rice a color, and since this is going to be frozen, you can just add them, stir them in, and remove the wok from the stove. So we are starting on a second fried rice. When you use a wok, you have to season it. I don't know how to call it, but you need to season it with oil before you use it after you wash it. I'm still starting with the onion, celery, red pepper, and I'm adding the white part of the green onion. This one is a vegetarian rice, and I'm adding green beans, and then I'm adding shiitake mushroom onto it as well, and I'm adding green chili. So I only made one that had chicken, and the other two, they didn't have any protein at all. So that's what I just added, and I'm going to stir everything in and add more oil. You don't add a lot of oil at the beginning. Always look at your food or your vegetables to see if they need the oil. And then here I'm adding brown and wild rice, also cooked yesterday, and I'm adding lentils onto the pan as well, black pepper, turmeric, oregano, onion and garlic powder, chili flakes, paprika, soy sauce, salt, onto the pan, onto the wok. I'm used to using a pan a lot, so this is a wok, and I'm adding rice vinegar as well, and I'm adding vegetarian soy sauce. It's important for me to emphasize on the vegetarian soy sauce because in seafood I only eat fish. The rest I don't consume. So that's why I use vegetarian soy sauce, and I am mixing everything together. Once that is combined, I will check the seasoning if it is correct or not. So that's my second fried rice. I checked my seasoning, and then I'm adjusting it according to my taste buds. You go with your taste buds, you know. And then once again, I'm adding the green part of the onion. The idea is not to cook it again because you don't want to, you want the color, and since this is going to be frozen, it will be half cooked when you warm it. You still want the color, you don't want it to turn dark. So our wok is cleaned again, washed. We're starting on another rice, which is going to be onion, celery, shiitake mushroom again. And then it's more or less the same as the previous one. Green chili. The only difference on this one is rice. On this one we're going to use basmati rice, the one that was left on the when we were making the chicken one. So that's what we are going to use here. And I'm adding garlic, ginger, chili paste, and I'm adding red peppers. So on the other one, I didn't add the red pepper onto it. I just added it now. I just added on this one. I think I added, what did I edit on the first one? Oh, I don't know. And I'm adding green beans, not a lot though, just a handful. You can chop them in anyhow that you want. I just chop them in the sizes that I was comfortable with, and I just added the remaining rice onto the pan, onto the wok, and I'm adding the lentils, the remaining lentils. The idea here is not to throw away anything, and I'm adding oyster sauce, vegetarian oyster sauce, black pepper, turmeric, paprika. I would say I'm adding everything that I added in terms of spices. On the seasoning is the same. The only thing that is different on this one is on them is the sauces, and on this one, as you can see, I'm adding balsamic vinegar instead of rice vinegar, you know. So that's the only thing that is different, but the rest it's okay. It's the same thing. It's the same. The difference on this and the other one is balsamic is the vinegar and the rice, and then I'm adjusting my seasoning according to my taste buds, and we are adding the green onion again. Don't cook. Once you add your green onion, you just stir it in and then you remove from the stove. We are now on another one, and we are seasoning the wok once again with the oil. Once you season with the oil, you put it back onto the bowl. I was using the same oil over and over. I kept adding onto it, but I was using the same oil for seasoning, and then a clean oil for cooking. You know, it's not dirty. Yes, I'm just adding mushroom onto the pan, green chili, white part of the green onion, stir that in, fry until tender. Nothing hectic. Who can guess what we're doing now? Can you guess? Added the onion. Mushrooms are always best to fry first. They tend to absorb water, and when they absorb if they absorb the water from the onion and they taste funny. And I added fennel seeds. Yeah, I know I should grind them, but they're okay. We will eat them like this up until I buy the necessary equipment for it. So that's what is going to happen. I must say, I love these one pot thingies, and I'm adding peppers, sliced peppers. These are sweet peppers. They're very sweet. I don't know if I should call them. They are the paprika family, I think. I don't know what to call them. I do not know. I'll look it up what they are called, but they are actually very, very sweet and taste really nice actually, but very sweet. And I'm adding green beans once again, and I think I was actually happy with the green beans that I bought from Food Lovers. They was complaining a lot, but yeah. And I'm adding pasta. We're making pasta. So I just added paprika, basil, salt, and we are going to stir that in. You guys, I went to bed after making all of these, and I could smell how it was smelling so good in my house. I really wanted to wake up and go and eat, but I wasn't hungry. In this jug there's water, there's soy sauce, and there's a tablespoon of flour. That's how you thicken, that's how you make a sauce, a thick sauce onto your thing. I added onto your most of your dishes or pasta dishes or stir fries, you know. But if it's stir fry, you're not gonna use a lot of this, or you can use corn flour if you want. And this is how it looks. And I just added chili flakes for that kick. And you know what, this was so divine, so divine. I had forgotten the green onion, and yeah. So this one, you guys, you know it is my grain medley. I think I've cooked it quite a lot on this channel, and I cooked it off camera. Actually, this is now during the day after I have woken up. I've cooked it off camera with beef bones. I'm simply just going to package it into containers, and I'm going to freeze them. I've cooked it. I do have a cook with me Saturday lunch, which I made. I think I made it with cow heels. Here I used beef bones, and it was delicious. As you can see, guys, I did not make it soupy. I made it thick, and I did not cook it all the way through because I think when we are going to eat it, I'll probably boil it for 30 minutes more and then add a little bit of water onto it. But I did not want to make it a soup. I don't know if that makes sense, because I wasn't also sure if I was going to put it in containers or I was going to put it in ziplocs. So I went with the safest bet, and this is our stew. That's how it looks. And with even the stew as well, I did not make it soupy. I made it thick, and I will add a bit of water for the day that we're going to eat it, warm it up on the stove. So I managed to have 2 containers of this stew, that is 2 servings. And for the grain medley, I have 3 containers, which are going to be 3 servings. So far I have made 3 rice, I've made 1 pasta, I've made the grain medley, that is 4, and then 5 here, that is 9. So the rest of the stew that is still here, my family will have it for dinner. The thing about this was that when I was doing this, I was not hungry. I was not hungry at all for the first 2 days, but the food were amazing. I promised you guys that I was going to find the name of this. I forgot, but I can tell you that it tastes like morojo. If you know the taste of, I wouldn't say spinach, man, it tastes better than spinach. Oh, what is it called? It's the choy family. If you know pak choy, it's that family, but tastes better than the pork choy. Ooh, I'm not an Asian or a Chinese or a Korean, no. So I just cut the stems of it, and then I'm going to wash it thoroughly, and then I am also rinsing. What do they call this thing? Oh my god, it's a herb, man. You guys know. I will write it down on the screen if I don't remember it. What is it? Oh my god, I'm even tempted to call Theo and ask him. So one thing about the things that I buy at the agent is that you must wash them thoroughly, because they sell them with soil, they keep them with soil. I think it's to manipulate them, thinking that they're still on the ground, and they stay fresher for a while. So when you are about to cook it, wash it thoroughly, guys. What is this, man? I know it, but I forgot. You know what, the funny thing is, I honestly want to, by the time I'm done, I want to say it here, ne? By the time I'm done with it, with this voiceover, I would have forgotten what it is. So this is so frustrating. But yeah, I just washed that thoroughly, and I'm going to chop the onion. Babe, do you know the types of herbs? Theo, can you give me the names of the types of herbs besides the Your father is looking at me that I'm screaming on a on a video. This what is it called? But I know the name, but yo, English never loved us. I'm also prepping for another pasta here, guys. Yes, I'm going to start on another pasta. That would be 10 types of herbs, Nana. Yes, the one that Ree Drummond loves, man. She would use it a lot. It's not basil, it's not parsley, it's not the one that I bought the other day. You were asking me that you could taste it on the pasta the other day, and I told you what it is. Google. It's on that other side. Google. So I just added mushroom, coriander. But there's another name for it, an American name. I just added onion, mushroom, and I added fennel seeds onto the pan as well. And then I'm adding the greens. I'll find the name for it, and type it down on the screen for you guys, what is called. And if you know what is called, kindly let me know in the comment section of what is called. And then I just added the pasta, and I added rice vinegar, soy sauce, paprika. You know, guys, I was doing did you find it? Cilantro, guys, cilantro. Hey, it's cilantro. Yo, thank you, Nana. So I'm adding my seasoning onto the pan. It's the same as the other one: rice, vinegar, soy sauce, chili flakes, paprika, you know the works. And then in my jug this time, it's soy sauce, water, flour, and tomato paste. 50 grams of tomato paste, and this is how it looks. This was my favorite then. This is my favorite. I can't wait to have it. And I added the cilantro at the end. Don't cook it. When you add your greens or your garnishes, you are done. Remove from the stove. So after cooking that, I went on to finish off my stew, my other stew. This one has no bones at all. It's just beef. I added green chili onto it, and I'm adding broccoli onto it. I'm not going to cook the broccoli. I just rinsed it and added it onto the pan. Why? Because when I'm going to freeze this, so when I warm it up, when we are going to eat it, the broccoli will then cook and it will keep the color. I want it to still be green, you know. I don't want it to lose the color, so I'm not going to cook it. I'm just going to add it in onto the stew. So we are starting on another pasta now. Are you guys counting how many meals I've made so far? That was 9, 10, this is 11. Yes. So that chicken that I said I cooked the other day, it was dry. I put it in the fridge, and I just added like a cup, 2 cups of the white sauce that I had in the fridge onto the pan. that had it onto the wok that had a chicken, and I added broccoli as well. And even this broccoli, I don't want it to cook, like I don't want it to be on the heat for long. And I'm adding a different kind of pasta, I don't know what to call it, but it's on the same family with what we call tahlier. Ne? That's the correct way of saying it. This is how it looks after mixing it in, and when it's here you can adjust your seasoning to how you want it. And I take it out, poured it onto a casserole. Thank you. And then I'm going to start on another pasta. Again, 2 cups of white sauce, and I'm adding a little bit of about 1.5 cup of milk, or a cup of milk, even on that other one, just to make it loose a little bit. And I'm adding chicken thighs that I had cooked on a pan as well, like I did with the quarter legs. I did it off camera though. And I'm adding that onto the sauce, and I just added the pasta. I'm sorry guys, my hand is all like obstructing. I was also taking a shot at the same time, so that wasn't a good call on my part. So that's how the pasta turned out. So now what I'm doing here is to package the rices and the pasta into the ziplocs. Yes, I'm going to store them into a ziploc in a freezer. I think it's easy for me because they are somewhat dry and the pasta are not watery. But there's something that I'm going to say. I know they say ziplocs are reusable. I don't find them reusable, honestly speaking. It depends what you put in them. If they have been in a freezer, they are not reusable, guys, honestly. For me, I was like, I literally had to check them thoroughly to check if they don't have any holes onto them, and I didn't have the reason I prefer this, me putting my rice and my pasta in that, is that in the ziploc is that I can see what is inside. So for me, this is the easiest way. The pastas that I just cooked, I've put them in casseroles, and now I'm going to grate mozzarella and cheddar cheese and sprinkle them on top of the casseroles. So for me personally, I think buying cheese like this in this size is cheaper than the small ones that we buy, because a mozzarella, like a small ball like this, it's 60 bucks. 60 bucks, and I bought this for like 260 or two, something like that. So for me, this is value for money, and I don't buy them in the same month, guys. No. I bought one last month when I went for grocery shopping, and I bought another one this month. I don't go and buy them all at once. Maybe in future I will do that, but in the meantime, I can't do that. I buy them bit by bit. So this is how I package them. I cover them with foil, and then after that I do the cling wrap. So I'm starting on panini mix, on panini rolls. I'm just eyeballing everything, guys. Honestly, it's 20 cups of flour. The flour that I use, it's half bread flour, half cake flour, and then I used 10 grams of yeast, which is 20 grams, and I eyeballed salt, I eyeballed sugar, and the water. I'm going to go with what I see and what I feel the flour needs, and I added 1/3 cup of olive oil, and I added, should I call it bicha? I was taking chances, because you know what, I'm not even going to talk about this. We'll talk about it another day. And I added my bicha into that, or should I say starter. So 1/3 of cup, if you don't know, 1/3 of cup is, you divide 250 ml by by 3, and a teaspoon is 5 ml, I think. Hey, I will check for girl. So if you divide it, if you don't have cups, you can just say 250 ml by 3, and then check how many mils is a teaspoon. I think a teaspoon is 5 ml and a tablespoon is 15 ml. I'm not sure. So for my paninis, I'm still using my lazy method, guys. We are not changing, we haven't changed yet. And even on this one, this is for pizza. I've used, it's half of the previous measurement. 10 cups of flour, 10 grams of yeast, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil, salt, sugar. I think this is the only, this dough, I use it for a lot of things, guys. I use it for pizza, I use it for ntwena, I use it for pizza, I use it for bagels, I use it for paninis, I use it for a lot of things. If you've been here for a while, you know. So I'm going to cover it and put it aside and let it rest. I didn't know how far I was going to go on this day, so I actually, with this cooking, I was just going with the flow, guys. Honestly speaking, I was going with the flow, and I was going with, let's see where I am going to end. That's it. And once that was there, I started on sweet potatoes. I started on sweet potatoes. I peeled them, and yeah.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Turn this room, turn it to an ocean. Let me float around. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. You and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. We can do nothing at all. So what? If you're stupid, then you know it's nothing wrong. You and me got a whole other meaning, I don't know how. You and me just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
Sweet potatoes are actually a delicacy in my home. We eat them in so many ways, either mashed, chips, or grilled in an oven like this, or sometimes I cook them on fire with a foil. So we eat them anyhow. So in this one, I just added seasoning. You can add seasoning of your choice, and then I added herbs and then oil, and I'm just going to put it in an oven. So with this one, I'm starting on the potato and broccoli, cauliflower casserole. I love broccoli, so I don't know if I sound weird, guys, when I'm doing this because I'm lying down. Is it the right thing for me to say? So I fried more chicken pieces, and on this one I just added 3/4 legs, and I added raw cauliflower onto the casserole, and then I'm adding my frozen potatoes that we had preserved together. If you haven't watched that video of vegetable preservation, kindly go back and check how I freeze my potatoes. So I'm going to add that onto the casserole as well. And on the other one, and on the other casserole, it's just going to be cauliflower and potatoes, and we're going to pour white sauce on top and sprinkle cheese on top, which is going to be um, mozzarella and cheddar cheese on top. If you have parmesan, you can also grate a little bit on top, and you can add breadcrumbs as well. But for me personally, I think that breadcrumbs make it a bit heavy, I think, considering that there's also a lot of cheese, there's a lot of sauce, white sauce, which happens to be, sorry, flour. So and then you add cheese and then breadcrumbs, nah. But the breadcrumbs gives it that crunchier thing. And these things, ne, I'm heating the white sauce the same way that I heated it when I was doing the pasta. The only difference is that on this one I need it to be watery, because I'm going to pour it over the casserole, which will have to cook. So let me explain how the pasta, how I'm going to cook the pasta that is on the casserole. Obviously, you can I will thaw it, ne? I will thaw it and then see how it is once it's thawed. And if I feel like it's not it's thick, I'll probably just dump it in a pot and add more milk and then adjust my seasoning. But if I'm happy, if it looks okay to me, I'm just going to put it in an oven with the foil minus the cling wrap, so that the cheese doesn't get burnt. Okay. And then once I feel that the everything is warm enough and all of that, I will remove the foil and allow the cheese to be golden brown. So with this one, still I'm going to thaw it a night before in the fridge and put it on the counter, possibly in the morning, and then when I'm ready for dinner, I'll put it in an oven at 180 degrees with the foil. I'm just going to take out the cling wrap, because the cling wrap is to just keep the foil in place. And then once I feel that my potatoes are cooked and my chicken is cooked, because the chicken that I put here, I did not cook it all the way through. I wanted it to cook with the potatoes and the cauliflower. And once I feel that everything else is cooked, then I will remove the foil and let it cook furthermore for the top to be slightly golden. And then that is how I'm going to cook it. And you can serve it with salad or anything. The one on the one with the chicken, you can serve it with salad. This one, you probably need a protein. So on this one, it can be a protein of your choice. It can be fish, it can be beef, it can be chicken, it can be anything. You can choose how you want to cook it. And this is actually very nice. You can do it with sliced potatoes. I think I'll do that with you guys next time, where I use sliced potatoes instead of this one. It's absolutely delicious. So I'm going to let it cool before I cover it with foil, and then cover it with cling wrap. Then we'll take it to the deep freezer. So while that is getting cool, hey, why do I feel like my English today is ra 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 ra? That's how it sounds in my ears. Like, I feel like my English bundles have depleted, guys. I don't know, but I must say, anyway, this is the panini dough. This is how it looks. We don't overwork it. We don't overwork it, and you can make ciabatta out of this. You can make ciabatta out of this. We'll do that next time, but you can make ciabatta out of this. So this video, guys, it was 7 hours long. I wanted to cry today. I really did. And mind you, when we shoot videos, we don't shoot everything. We shoot the important things. So this was 7 hours. So for me to get to this 1 hour 40 minutes, hey, I had to cut a lot of things. I had to cut a lot of things for it to be on 1 hour 40 minutes. And these are the highlight of everything. But considering the amount of food that I had made, yeah. So these are the baked paninis. When everything is done, I put them in a plastic bag and put them in a fridge because I wanted them to remain fresh. So now we are going to start on the pizza. This is on another day, guys. I don't even know what day this was. So my pizza dough actually proved quite a lot, maybe 2 to 3 times, and I kept on punching it down, and I realized that no, I was too tired. I wasn't going to deal with it. I did not want to deal with it, so I put it in a fridge. According to my understanding, when you put a dough in a fridge, it's supposed to stop proving. Hey, this one did not. Guys, this one did not stop proving. It was so huge, I did not even want to show you guys. So I'm making vegetarian pasta. I'm not going to add any meat. So it's cheese, mozzarella. It's not really vegetarian. Vegetarians don't eat cheese, or it's vegans. I don't know. But there's no meat. There's no chicken. It's going to be the tomato sauce. Yeah, pizza. We rob pizza in this house. We don't do the marinara sauce and what we use tomato sauce, then we add cheese and mozzarella, and then I'm adding onion, green chili, mushroom onto there, and then we're going to add more cheese on top. That's how I'm making it this time. And guys, let me tell you something that I realized. When I say majority of my recipes are an accident, the gluten that developed on this dough, hey, when I was rolling it, I think I should have made an experiment. I'm going to make an experiment with one dough. I don't know how it's gonna turn out, we'll see how that works. When I was rolling this, if you guys, if you've been here for a while, you know that I don't use a rolling pin when I make pizza. But this one I had to. I had to, and I looked at it and I was like, guys, have you seen the flour wraps? I love flour wraps from Woolies, ne? The texture of it. I wondered what would happen if I made flour wraps from this. I'm definitely going to try it, guys. On my hands, it felt like it could make a really great flour wrap. I'm definitely going to try it, and maybe apply butter, melted butter outside. I'm sure something will come out of it. The way the gluten was, like, it had developed, but I'm gonna try it and tell you guys how it is. So I attempted to make mini pizzas. Actually, I did not attempt. I made mini pizzas. Ne, I'm never gonna make them again. Ever. Maybe one day if I find myself with talk class, yeah. Why? They were finished before they even came out of the oven. Like, they were out of the oven and they were done. They were finished. So I'm not gonna make them. And another thing, the cheese oozes everywhere. One of the reasons I make my own pizza is because I want to put a lot of filling on it, a lot of cheese. If I can't do that, there's no point. So if mini pizzas doesn't allow me to do that, there's no point. I'm not gonna do it. So I went back to making my normal pizza. So this one, you guys know it. I do it for my tomato grilled cheese sandwich. Only this time I'm going to put them inside the panini, and then I didn't have the cold meat this time around. So what I did was an egg, and I put tomato on top, and then I put paloni, and then I put cheese on top. And I experimented with this cheese called from Clover Elite or something. Never again. Never again. It tasted yeah. So never again. So these I'm going to put inside the panini. So we've made this a couple of times here. I don't think there's a need for me to show you guys how to make it. So, but yeah, that's it's simple. It's egg. You beat an egg. You put tomato on top. You put paloni. This time, yeah, I put paloni. Normally we don't. And then cheese on top, and we put inside our bread or whatever. So that's how we make them here at home.
You just know how it feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me that you're fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me that you're fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
So I was left with filling for the pizza, and I decided that I must do something with it. So I just added chives and parsley and the offcuts of the tomatoes on it, and then I'm beating 6 eggs. I'm adding onto it. I'm just going with the flow here. I did not know what I was doing, and I added 1 cup of flour onto it, and I added 1 cup of mass and mixed it together. So this, what came out of this was an in between, was something between pancake and omelette. It tasted very nice, but I would say it's not something to freeze. It was a mess to warm up, you know. So I don't think I would. It tastes good, but I think it's something that I would make for immediate consumption, not to freeze. It didn't hold well. It held well. It looked good, but it took long to to warm up, man. So anything that is time consuming in terms of warming up, if frozen, for me it's not worth it. So you can season it with seasoning of your choice, right? And then I put it in a pan, in a lined baking sheet like this, and put it in an oven at 180 degrees until it was well cooked, and it is delicious. It tastes more like pizza, but yeah. So out of everything that I have been doing, guys, this was something that I was looking forward to. This one, I'm chopping up garlic. I'm going to make garlic and then prep for this. This is something that I wanted to experiment with. I saw it on YouTube, so I honestly wanted to see how it's gonna turn out. This is how you prepare the potatoes, and the carrots as well. You prepare them like this. I was watching Tiselani. It was on a Sunday. Was it on a Sunday? She was live. She was talking about nannies and all of that. Unfortunately, I could not participate, but I was listening. Her channel is Butter and Babies. So yeah, she was my company on this day. I was chasing electricity as always. And the carrots as well, you cut them the same way that you cut the potatoes.
Turn this room, turn it to an ocean. Let me float around. Eyes closed, like we're dreaming even when we're not. But you and me got a whole other meaning. I don't know how.
I chopped one onion as well as part of the dish. The rest of the potato and the carrots, I'm going to use them for tonight's dinner. And then I'm going to cut the green onion, the white part separate and the green part separate. You know how we do it here. Guys, this was such a long video. I wanted to cry. I've never made a video like this, but I think this is the beginning of something. And what I'm going to do after this is that I'm going to check how useful was this for me. Did I manage to do anything that I wanted to do after doing this? Because the idea is for me not to cook. The idea is for me not to cook. And with that being said, not to cook for a month. So with that being said, I want to see if I will be able to put my effort somewhere else other than having to worry about the chores in the house and cooking. So I should be able to add one more thing onto my list since I won't be cooking for like 3 weeks to a month. So let's see. I will come back with a feedback of how it worked for me, but I will say financially it's definitely going to work because I know how much I spent on this, and I have been able to make a lot of food from this, and I did not spend that much money. So financially it is worth it. But time wise, I'm going to check that. Mara, since you guys know that I'm stingy as hell, I'm a cheapskate. I might, even if it didn't help me time wise, I'll I'll still do it for the money. Yeah. So I started by seasoning my wok first again, and then added onion, and then the white part of the green onion, and then I added chili. Stir that in up until it's tender. And I added about a teaspoon of chopped or minced garlic onto the wok, and then we're going to stir that into there to develop the flavors. My battery is about to die on me, so I need to finish this and save it as a draft. I don't think I'll be able to upload it today. It's Monday today. I'm supposed to upload, but it took me a whole day to edit this, and electricity just went off at 6 p.m. and it's going to come back at 10 p.m. I don't think I'll upload it tonight. If I upload it tonight, I'll definitely schedule it for tomorrow. So after the onion and the chili and everything was cooked until tender, I then proceeded into adding my potato and carrots onto the wok. This is called potato stir fry. To say this is delicious is an understatement. I love potatoes, so anything that I can do differently with potatoes, you'll always find me there. I love potatoes. I can eat potatoes as chips, as roasted, as mashed. Listen, anything that has to do with potato, I will eat. So for me to find out that I can make a stir fry out of potatoes, that was heaven. And I added a couple of pieces of beef that I had just half fried the other day. I added that onto my wok, and I added seasoning of my choice onto the wok. I think by now you guys know what I use on my food, and someone would say, ah, your food tastes the same. No, they don't taste the same. Beef and chicken don't taste the same, no matter no matter if you put same seasoning on them. Cabbage and potatoes don't react the same way to seasoning. Like, the taste of the food doesn't come from the spices, it comes from the protein, the vegetables, the starch, and you know, the same way that you might cook sweet potato and then you add sugar, and I'll cook sweet potato and I add salt. What's going to make the sweet potato different is the sweet potato. It's not the seasoning. It's how the sweet potato is going to respond to your seasoning. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I'm even am I even making sense? I feel like I've been talking for a while, so I'm probably just gibbering and talking gibberish, but you know, you hate. You know what I mean. So add seasoning of your choice, and I added rice vinegar, soy sauce, and anything. I'm sorry. Anything that you want to add, and this is delicious, delicious, delicious. If this is going to be a staple in my home, a staple, I can promise you that.
Feels when we're falling in love. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
Look at that deliciousness all in one place. That is delicious. My husband hates potatoes. He hates potatoes. He loves cabbage. I hate cabbage and I love potatoes. So, but we each compromise for each other. Yes, we both compromise for each other. We eat the things that, you know, even when we don't like them. So I've already started on my dinner there. It's my chicken on that pot, and I was going to package the lunches or the breakfast, you know, which I managed to squeeze in onto everything else. So we're going to start with this, the pizza filling that I just winged into something. We're going to put that in a packaging, and after that we will package the pizza, and then we will package the panini.
Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning.
So these are the pizzas that came out yesterday, and I was able to get about, this is 5, is it 5 or 6, I don't know. And we ate 2 yesterday, and the mini ones last night, and the mini ones that was our dinner. So this is going to be part of the lunch or breakfast don. So I was very happy with how it came out.
Up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Say what you wanna say to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. Show me there's nothing fake to me now. I wanna wake up with you in the morning. We can do nothing at all. So what? If you're stupid, then you know it's nothing wrong.
So I was slightly frying my chicken, and I'm now going to start adding my vegetables. I'm adding the green onion, the back part, and then I'm adding carrots and potatoes onto there, and then I'm going to stir that in. So even with this stew, because this is a chicken stew, I was trying something different, and it was so delicious. I know that I say everything that I cook I seem to be saying is delicious. So in here it's soy sauce, it's water, it's 1.5 tablespoon of sugar, yes, soy sauce, vinegar, paprika, mixed spice, oregano, and I added water onto there and a little bit of flour, and I added 1.5 tablespoon of sugar. I had never thought I could cook a stew with sugar. I did. The acidic from the vinegar and the sugar, guys, if you I used sugar because I didn't have honey, but you can use honey instead of sugar, but for me I think it still tasted great. So that's another, like, Theo was asking me, why is the meat sweet? I was like, oh, and he's like, no, in a good way though. I'm like, I added sugar. It's like, that's like interesting. I was like, no, it tastes good, and it tasted good. I didn't think I could do. I never thought I could put sugar in chicken. And I know someone is listening to me and saying, what? But I did. So this one, ne, it's a disclaimer. By the way, the chicken, I did not go back into showing you guys how it looked. I think because it was an experiment, I will cook it again and show you guys. I was just tired at this point. So on this one, guys, it is a typical, don't try this at home. Fela yalo. Don't try this at home because this is not kimchi, but I wanted to see if I were to attempt to make kimchi, how it would turn out. I think I should follow the recipe like to the T, how they make it, because whatever it is that I made here does not taste good yet. I don't know that after a while, after it has fermented, it will taste better, but I don't think so, because I've added cucumber and that was not the plan. The cucumber was supposed to be separate, ne? And I was like, what could go wrong? Let me just do it. And I did it, and I regret it. Because if it was just cabbage and the onions, I think when the fermentation starts kicking in, it would taste like either sauerkraut or somewhat a bit of kimchi. So I have no idea I don't even know what to call it. But what I did here was that I added salt onto it, so just so that it can release the water. But another mistake was that I did not rinse the salt off, ne? But it also confirmed to me that I really don't like the taste of salt. I cannot stomach it, because I'm sure if I can give this to someone, they would think, this tastes really good. But for me, this is all the water that was coming out of the cucumber and the cabbage. Um, after me salting it. So, this is a part where I was supposed to rinse it, but I did not. I think it was tiredness, guys. Don't blame me. I was tired. So, for me, I think I should really consider, because I will make a proper kimchi next time. This is not kimchi. I wanted to make a cucumber salad, and I wanted to see what will come out of cabbage, onion, and what will it taste like kimchi. But then laziness was like, why make two things? Just when I faga in one thing, and I forgot. Look at me now. But I'm gonna leave it for a week and see what's gonna happen. But I've tasted it today. I did not like how it tastes. I don't know if it's the salt or I don't know, but I really didn't like it. Honestly, I didn't like how it tastes. So, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyhow, guys, so this has been a wonderful, wonderful day. And I added fish sauce to it. The recipe for kimchi calls for fish sauce, and I added that. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. What am I doing? But thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you for taking your time. Please don't forget to hit a subscriber button, a like button, and don't forget to comment. If you can, kindly share me out. This is batch cooking. This is freezer cooking. I had made enough food for my small family to last us a month, and I'm looking forward to a day to not cooking. Actually, today I did not cook. We had the leftover rice in the fridge, and we just warmed kota legs, morojo, and that rice, and that's what we had for dinner. Life less complicated. I appreciate you all. I appreciate the time that you take to be here, and I hope to see you guys on my next video. Bye.